I guess you could say I'm in my own valley of tranquility. Actually, it's just less windy here. Okay, it is November 3rd. It's just a little after 1 p.m. And speaking of tranquility, I'm sure there's an eerie, well, not a tranquility, but an eerie calm prevailing over the United States right now. You know, because all these crazies are probably like, you know, the ones that are throwing bricks through windows are probably stopped wondering, who's going to win? You know, Orange Man bad? Sleepy Joe? I don't know. You know, so maybe all the rioting and all the anarchy is kind of on hold because there's this anticipation going on right now. Who's going to win? Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, wow, election day. Okay, so the elections are still going on because it's only like 1 p.m. right now. I'm kind of thinking, you know, I'm just guessing by what I see going on. I'm kind of thinking Trump's going to win. I'm just guessing. I could be wrong. Maybe Joe Biden will win. Who knows? But I'm kind of guessing, I'm kind of leaning towards Trump, you know. You know, as a Canadian, it's like I just look what's going on in the U.S. and I think, okay, well, what can we do about it? Whoever wins, wins. What can we do about it? Not much. You know, how will it affect us? Don't know. Okay. So it's not really a big concern for us Canadians, but maybe some things are. I don't know. But I got this feeling Trump will win, and the reason because I look at everything going on, not just one thing, just everything going on. Now, the reason I say that is because the silent majority is what you don't hear about. The people that are sick and tired of all the anarchy, the rioting, the violence going on. It's just the madness. And a lot of people that are sick and tired of it, but you don't hear about it. But here's the thing. Some say there's a strategy behind the Democrats to let this anarchy go on. You know, put the blame on Trump, of course. Let the anarchy go on, hoping that it's like some speculate it's a strategy by the Democrats. Let this madness go on, let the anarchy go on, hoping that the entire country will get so fed up with it that they'll say, yeah, time for a change of government. We need to vote out the Republicans and Orange Man bad. Okay, well, but really, people are just getting fed up with this because they're starting to see through what's going on here. They're starting to see through what's going on about how the Democrats are doing this. And the silent majority are fed up with what's going on. They're saying, you know. And besides, when we look at some of these Democrat-run cities, and then you look at the suburbs, what usually happens when there's rioting in these suburbs, the people in the suburbs, or no, rioting in the cities, the people in the suburbs will see that. They say, I don't want it coming this way. So they'll vote for the other party. You know, they were no longer in support of that party running that city, and they'll want to vote for the other party because they're hoping that, okay, I am hoping this will stop, and maybe if I vote, maybe if I swing my vote, then yeah, well, because I see what's coming. Apparently that's a known statistic. Yeah, people in the suburbs realize what's going on in the big cities and say, I don't like that. So they change their mind about who they're voting for. Also, when I say the Democrats, look at the blue states, Pennsylvania, Washington. Okay, so you look at how, well, Portland, Oregon, okay, it's a blue state, it's a Democrat-run city, and then Trump offers help. But then the Democratic mayors and the governors of these states, you know, they say, oh no, we don't want Trump sending in his, you know, his stormtroopers to infringe on people's, you know, First Amendment right. Excuse me, the First Amendment doesn't mean, you know, destroy property and hurt people. No. So you look at everything going on here, and, well, that's just my take on it, because the silent majority is saying, we've had enough of this crap, and they're starting to see through what's going on. Oh, yeah. So I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing Trump's going to win because it's like I said, the silent majority. There's a lot of people fed up with this. It's like I said, all this anarchy is going on in the blue states and Democrat-run cities. You know, Portland, Seattle, New York, especially Portland, Oregon. You know, 100 days. I think it's Portland, yeah. There's also like Philadelphia, a few other places. When you look at Portland, Oregon, it's like 100 days of nightly rioting and anarchy, and they're all out there, the leftists, the Antifa, and it's like, you know, they're just out there just itching for a fight. They just dare the cops to show up so they can fight with them. And the Democrats and Democratic mayors just sit back and let it go on. So that's the thing that people are getting fed up with. That's the thing they're catching on to. So the strategy by the Democrats is kind of backfiring. And like I said, that silent majority, they're fed up with all this anarchy and rioting, the false narratives by all these other groups, by Antifa, the leftist, Black Lives Matter, and all that. They're fed up with that. You know? So yeah, I could be wrong, but I got this feeling, yeah, Trump's going to win. What's going to happen after that? Maybe all the Democrat supporters will be so pissed off that they'll be rioting even more. That's why a lot of businesses are boarding up their storefronts. They're anticipating what almost is going to be like a civil war. Jesus. I don't know, man. Such a divided country. So, another thing I got thinking about is that strategy I mentioned by the Democrats. Well, here's the other thing that I think, here's what I see, and maybe other people are catching on to this. One thing they're doing is, you know, it almost seems like the Democratic mayors will say, oh, they're peaceful protesters. And you'll see a reporter standing there saying, oh, and the mostly peaceful protesters, and in the background, everything's on fire. Like, okay, so here's what I got thinking. One strategy they're hoping on is that Trump will do something. Maybe the Democrats are hoping that, you know, they'll let this violence go on, because they know if they do something about it, they step in and they crack down, people could get hurt or people could die. They don't want blood on their hands. That would be bad for their political career. So one strategy they might have is, maybe all this time they were hoping Trump, well, I don't know, will invoke the Insurrection Act, send in federal forces or federal police or whatever to crack down on all this violence. And that way, somebody might get hurt or killed, and Trump will be the one who has blood on his hands, and that'll be like a career-ending move for him. So you know what? If I can see that might be the case for soaking about a gazillion other people. They're all tired of this, so I don't know. So yeah, I'm guessing Trump's gonna win, but I could be wrong. Anyhow, it's a nice day today.